Alright, YouTube, back with another video, another trade recap. Here on NAS, this was on Wednesday. Something weird happened with TopStep. There was a outage. So when I was on my last trade, I was in profit, and you'll see that it started to act all funny. And when I hit the refresh button, it actually just went blank. And so for about 10 to 15 minutes or so, I was really confused. I thought it was my internet connection, so I messaged TopStep support. They didn't reply, but then they were able to send out a message saying that there was an outage. And you'll see in this video on my last trade. But here on NAS, I was really being patient because I wanted to look for buy positions. After it broke this high right here, I was thinking that it was just going to continue to go up. So I went for a long position. My target was very conservative, but you can see that immediately after I got into the trade, it started to go into drawdown, close to $400 in drawdown right here. I took out some of my drawing so that I could see price itself without getting too confused. Now I'm marking up my highs and lows off of the first candle, and I'm very optimistic that it was gonna reach this previous gap. So this two zones that I have drawn out here were the gaps from, I believe, a few weeks ago. So it's still pretty valid for me to be taking trades inside of here. I was anticipating for a long position for the whole entire day. But here you can see price was struggling for a bit. So I was in this trade for a while. You can see that we got up to 400 right here, and I'm getting better at not putting any stop profit in place, but I mean, this one I kind of wish I did, because that would have been a good trade right here, and then it started to retrace. I held even though it started to retrace down here, because I was still very confident in the trade, thinking that the next candle should be able to continue to push up. But instead, I started to not feel confident, so I put a stop loss just below, close to this low right here. So then these wick rejections on the left hand side were pretty massive. I just thought that the next candle should be able to fill in this gap at least. So I looked for another long position when it got close to the high, thinking that it was just going to create a new high. But instead it went into drawdown for quite some time, went into profit, and then immediately that same candle that went into profit went back into drawdown. And now I'm just looking to find a place where I can put a stop loss, because I'm still pretty biased for a buy. And then after this candle just did not want to break, it created that wick off of this 15-minute. So in the 1 minute it looked like this. So that's when I said, okay, you know what, it does not want to go up, let's just follow the momentum. So I took a sell right here, was in the trade for quite some time. This started giving me confidence that I can at least capitalize to here. So I moved my take profit from 171.75 to 153.50. And then this is when things started to look a little funky. You see on the left hand side the target is at 1190, and here on the right hand side target is at 1210. But I continue to stay in the trade, and when it started to push, I went ahead and moved my take profit or my stop loss into stop profit. But as you can see, it did not turn green like what it would normally do when you move your stop loss into stop profit. So that's when I started to get concerned that there might be some sort of outage or something's up with the internet. So you can see here, moving that stop loss into stop profit, and it just stayed red. So that's when I went ahead and tried to refresh. It's still there, even though it's so close to my take profit right now. I try to be a little bit more greedy by moving it down, but it did not want to. I guess correlate with each other. So I even tried to close the trade, and I got nothing. So then I went ahead and hit the refresh button, and it just stayed blank like this. So when I went back into TopStep, I did see that I won the trade. So that was very fortunate of me to have won this, because my overall direction was bullish. I wanted to see price break through that previous gap high at 25,299.75. But instead, I was able to capitalize on this little breakout, or not exactly breakout, because I took the trade in the middle of the range, especially after that huge wick rejection at the top right there. I knew that I could follow the momentum. I didn't know how far it was going to go, but I just went ahead and took what I could get. But yeah, so this is part of trading. Sometimes the internet might go out. Sometimes your prop firm might have outages, and just have to make sure you're trading safe. But that's it for this video. See you in the next one.